what did I say? What did I say? All I have to do is just put it in the ether, and the universe, reality, will do the rest. I said it and I was right. I did say it and I was right. So I was watching 5 times from Beyond the Forbidden TV, Beyond the Forbidden TV. They just put out an interview with Howdy Mikowski, and he's very eloquent, coherent, and he's a writer. Howdy Mikowski, that is. I don't know much about the Beyond the Forbidden guy, but apparently he gets... Anyway, bottom line is, what did I say? That if I put it in the ether, that's all I need to do. Oh my God. He says, how can the video game character change the game? Could a video game character change the game? And this is the point. No, a video game character cannot change the game. It can only play it until it's conscious enough of it. And this is what we are. We are here. We are not in a position to fight anything, to change anything, just to do the best we can with the consciousness that we're given. I keep saying about retrocausal life, and how my life is fully retrocausal. And that's why I even know that even everything that I'm saying is gonna be picked up by another mind, at least another mind, and it will be worded in their own way. So I don't even name my videos anymore, because there is absolutely no point. There is nothing to change here. The world, it's as it should be for what needs to happen. And how can I say, it's what Howdy kept saying was exactly what I've been saying. We are trained and we are awakened to leave the system. It's not about fixing the system. It's about being ready to move on. Being ready to graduate. The only reason we are stuck in our personal experience of things is because we're digging our heels into waking Tom, Dick, and Harry up, into explaining and showing. No, what you know was put on your path and your path alone. It's none of your business what Tom, Dick, and Harry, because you're not their God. Of course, I see the irony of what I'm doing here, but I'm not doing here this to teach nobody, but to make a record of where my mind is at in this day, on this moment. I don't give a fuck if other than me, nobody sees this ever. I'm putting it in the ethers of YouTube for the collective conscious, because I need to, because I'm inspired in spirit, inspired to do so, for no other preconceived outcome, desire, or anything whatsoever, because I don't need to. I'm shown every day that if I don't follow through with my instinct and with what I'm too busy or whatever, and I don't put out what was transmitted to me another mind is gonna pick it up and it's gonna be in the ethers anyway. There is nothing lost. What's so I want to smoke. I want to smoke, and I keep talking because I'm just so excited because this is not charged. I'm so excited because first of all, I'm getting more and more proof. And I was saying about retrocausality today. I was telling, because there is this chick and she has every freaking stomach problem under the sun, and you know how it is with certain I don't know, not races, but certain peoples. The whole conversation can be about their illnesses and pains, and it's so fucking boring. But anyway, they live a life of total compromise. So of course their body breaks down, and they're half my age, and honest to God, they're like broken toys. But anyway, that's besides the point. That I was telling this person, they should eat popcorn. It was something specific, and I was inspired to tell her popcorn is the answer, especially in the evenings when she wants to chew on something and so on. Chips and shit like that is not the answer, but homemade popcorn, just salted with good salt, obviously. Yeah, that's the answer. I come home, I do a refresh on my things, on my subscriptions on YouTube, and I follow this doctor guy, and he has 2 videos about how popcorn is good for you, and how popcorn can heal your body and blah blah. 2 videos done on the same day about popcorn. And I started laughing, and I'm like, see, it was funny. But retrocausality is something that, as I said, I see absolutely every day, and I function from retrocausality in the sense that I never stop my instinct from, so let's say I'm on holidays now, and I need to I don't need to, but I'm gonna go away, but I'm inspired to purchase something that would eat into my holiday money. Well, I'm just gonna purchase it because I know for a fact, if the instinct is there, if the message is there, just like with the popcorn message, just like with the thing with Howdy Mikowski, what he's saying, it's exactly what I'm saying in completely different words and with a different analogy, but the same exact thing he's trying to say. Let them wash their hair with it. There's no point changing the simulation because it needs to be there. So the same thing. Where was I going with this? I sidetracked my own self. Fuck. Anyway, but yeah, it's vital that we understand that what's given to us is given to other minds, and it's gonna be brought into life, into existence, if not by me, by somebody else. There is absolutely no need to fret about tomorrow today, because tomorrow is gonna take care of itself. So your instinct at all point in times is that message that's being sent. You have to follow it and not think, I'm not doing what my instinct says now because tomorrow I may need blah blah blah. Tomorrow takes care of itself. It's none of your business. And this is how you change and how you affect your personal simulation, your personal reality, and how you get out of the matrix by absolutely knowing your instinct, and that which gives you pleasure now, like right now, that thing is exactly what you need to do, so you have the most perfect tomorrow. You should not stop your pleasure now for some need tomorrow. and that's how you break your own matrix. And the rest of the matrix, for the Tom, Dicks, and Harrys around you, that's none of your business, because who the fuck died and put you in charge of their path? Who the fuck died and put you in charge of what's better? So it's very, very important to mind your own business. If something needs to come out through you and you really can't help it, but put it out, then find your channel and do it. It may be in the form that, because this video would have not happened had I had the chance today to catch up properly with my girlfriend, because I would have downloaded it all to her, put it in the ether that way, and it would have still been marked in my memory, because as I process vocally something that I've heard, and as I digest it out through a friend or through a video, that's my way of journaling, of making solid what I need to process. But we were surrounded by a bunch of NPCs, and literally they're in the system, and nothing that I would have said had I started a discussion like this would have resonated with them. It would have been like literally casting pearls before swine, because it's not their path. Their path is what they're finding, dealing with their sickness, finding the solution. They are in overcoming sickness, there is a lot of personal growth. The denser the NPC, creation itself is trying to awaken everybody. NPC, non-playing character, to make them into a playing character. Why? Because the purpose of existence, the purpose of being, is the awareness of being, the consciousness, the growth, not growth, because that implies, but yeah, it is growth, but the expansion of consciousness, I'd rather say. And so someone's talking. Each is expanding their consciousness through whatever avenue is necessary for them. I was telling one of my girlfriends how she is struggling with the people in her life because she's not realizing the difference between NPC and non-NPC, playing character and non-playing character. She's definitely a playing character in the sense that she noticed things were not right from very early on. At the age of 15, she left her homeland, she left her family, and she started on her own 2 feet, and she built herself a beautiful life abroad. She's a very strong, beautiful young woman, doing very, very well for herself and progressing amazingly. And she is, she's still trying. You can't be out of the system and in the system. When you don't follow the system and you don't compromise and you don't do the step by step, you're out of the system. Being out of the system means you are seeking awakening. You're awake, you're aware that something is not how it seems, and you seek things and you do dramatic things to find that which you're finding. So you don't need disease and things to happen to you. You make things happen. That's what makes you a playing character versus a non-playing character. You make things happen. You don't wait for the awakening to break your door, for the change to break your door or push you or shove you down the balcony to make you do it. You literally do it. And she's that. And she's not aware that there are two types of people. And people that have comfortable lives, that nothing jolts them. They're still watching the political parties on TV, and they think that the change that needs to do in relation to their monetary situation and so on has to do with the with some political change. They don't understand the so she is dating an NPC, a complete drone. He's German, complete drone. Oh my god, what I've seen in this country, I fully understand why Hitler did so well here, not in Austria, but here. I fully understand that. It's prime location. The people are just groomed for something like this to happen, and it couldn't have happened in a better country. Like people here on an empty street, they would wait for the green light to cross the street because someone somewhere heard that you get a $5 fine if you jaywalk. And literally, like sheep, they wait for the green light 20 minutes on an empty little town street, and they would not cross. Like, they are that programmed. Oh my god, they find it absolutely fantastic and justified to dub on their neighbors if when there was the no more than 3 people or no more than family members and no parties and so on in the lockdowns. They find it fully justified to tell on others for not respecting the rule that, oh, they're just awful. Anyway, so she's dating one of these, and she's a mover and a shaker, and he's just a follower, and he couldn't even justify the need to question the stuff. He wouldn't have the capacity because there was nothing. He just wants to change role on this basic level. His understanding of life is really basic as comparing to hers. She comes from strife, struggle. She overcame a lot. She questioned a lot, and she questions a lot. He questions nothing. He just goes through the parameters of the system and just cannot see outside of that. A beige entity, just anyway. So I was telling her, Schatz, you are like me. You are you question, you seek, you search, you find. To you, change, you make things change. You cannot, you have 2 choices here. To, if you want to keep this guy, to live a life of compromise, because to wake up such a drone, first of all, is not your job. He's not questioning or wanting to be at your level. He doesn't even understand your language. He doesn't understand the need for what you're searching, because in him there is no need. You left the system. He's in the system. He's feeding the system. You are no longer in the system. So for you to be in a relationship with such a person, you will have to be in constant compromise of yourself, of your values. He's in no compromise. He's just humoring you, but he will never ever understand you. Because the NPC with a non-NPC, she cannot uncross the bridges she crossed, and he will never need to cross them. So one of them and the one more awake will do the more compromise. So I said, there are only 2 options for you to have the life that I have, in which you see people as if you would see you would divide people like in a menagerie. A donkey is a donkey, a horse is a horse, a lion is a lion. None of them is wrong for what they are. You just see them for what they are. And you see for how long and for what purpose you need each of them. If you need them. So if you want to stay with this guy, you will never ever return back to an NPC level. So his level of discussion will never ever satisfy you. If you can envision 20, 30 years with this person, then yeah, go ahead. Changing him, you won't be able to, because it's not your job. It's the height of arrogance to try to change him. Because you're out of the system, you try to pull him out of the system. You try to tell him who can you truly talk to? Who can you truly communicate on the topics you want to talk to? Because with him, clearly you can't. Okay, let's say you manage to bring him over outside of the system to your level of thinking. You just handicapped this man, because this man is still in the system. He still has his NPC family and mates. All of a sudden, once you expose what you know, once you expose him to the realities that you found out, you break him. Because all of a sudden, the discussions that he was part of in his circle of influence, he will know all of them to be a lie and so on. It's like telling your child who still needs to finish school that everything they learn in school, it's a lie. You're handicapping your child. Unless you homeschool him, you make your child a pariah. Because he won't be able to fully stand. He will just start to be different and no longer be able to participate in a system of lies. You are already out of the system. You were never in it. You didn't finish school. You saw that was bullshit. You didn't stay, even though you were a girl. You didn't stay in your traditional family. You went and you carved your own path. He's comfortable where he is. His level of thinking makes sense in his level of influence. The moment you pull him out, you will just have each other. And not only that, because you've spoon-fed him and you've drip-fed him what you knew, he will become dependent on you. And you will have to now be the source of... It's like breastfeeding this person until he's able to carve his own path on his own. And yeah, that sounds romantic or whatever, but it's not. Because you still have yourself to carry on and grow. You still have a long path to go. So you have to hold yourself backwards. And I said your options are life of compromise or life alone. Because, yeah, you could say, oh yeah, I will find another person exactly like me. When two are the same, one is unnecessary. That's another thing. And not only that, you are outside of the system and you carved your path and you left it all behind because in your fundamentals, in your foundation, there was something defective. There was something unhealthy that pushed you away. So you were defective. You come from a defect, because it's only dissatisfaction and discontent that breaks an NPC out into a playing character. Good life and happy-go-lucky and everything making sense will never make one. So she knows very well what I was talking about, because she knows why she did what she did in her life. And it was a shit life. And she had to seek... Because when life is shit, you have two options. Change your reality and figure out how to carry on, or die. So she carried on, she went on, and whatever. He had no strife, he had nothing. So I said, okay, you can find another one like you, let's say. What does that mean? It's another defective. How can you guarantee that the other defective, the other person that needed to... I know, because what made me was a whole lot of fuckery. Not that I would turn it back, because I see people that were uh, that grew up with a silver spoon, and they're fuckwit. They're absolute. Ooh, it's like talking to donkeys' asses. Like there's nobody home. So diamonds are created under pressure. Absolutely. So so are supernovas. And so I said to her, to find another one like you, again, just because you have this, you still haven't overcome this programming that you need society, everybody gets married and everyone finds that someone. No, you, when you wake up and you understand that you and others are not the same thing, you understand how to use the system, how to use it, and not in a way of using like how can I say, like a sociopath or a psychopath. No, but which wood to chop and which water to carry. That's what I mean. Whilst you are alive, you need to interact. But you can interact to the benefit of everyone, or to the when you're unconscious and so on, there is constantly this not symbiosis, this parasitic codependence. So that's what I mean by using a symbiosis, not necessarily a parasitic relationship. But it's very important to understand that you are not like others. With this information, you choose what you're gonna do. You can't expect, because you will become parasitic if you keep picking on this guy and trying to make him change. Trying to make someone change means you want someone else. Changing someone means changing someone. So just change it. Okay? Change the person. Change the person to another person. But I said no matter through how many people you're gonna go through, you're gonna understand that which you're seeking can only come from within yourself. And it comes with the understanding that you have to stop latching on to others to give you what you need to give yourself. Because the playing character, if he's not aware of the game and not aware that the majority is the non-playing character, the unaware, the unconscious, the sleepwalker, there is a lot of struggle in the playing character because they're not understanding what's happening. So then they guilt themselves, etc., etc. Anyway, so she understood that, but this was a couple of days ago and I haven't posted in a while, and this discussion kind of, I wanted to speak about this, and then I saw this thing by Howdy Mikowski on this interview with a guy today. Yeah, this morning or last night, can't remember. I found out about this video, and man, the analogies that he's using, it's exactly what I've been saying. And he's saying the system does not need, the game does not need to be changed. It's, the thing is, when you're aware, you just leave the game. It's so amazingly put. My God. Howdy Mikowski is another one that's just so amazing. He writes a number of books. He has another book that's come out, and he's got his own channel, but this interview is not on his channel. I don't know if it's gonna be later, but it's on this other channel, like I said, Beyond the Forbidden TV, and on his Patreon is this, it's the thing. And he worded it so amazingly, and it just proves to me that everything, once it's put in the ethers, once I picked it up, others are gonna pick it up as well. And it's just, oh, I just feel such I've never felt more secure, more sure, more in knowing, more confident, more safe than that right now. It's amazing since I've realized the way the whole game works is just so fantastic. I don't have a fear in the world anymore. It's just such a good place to be. It's a good place to be. Ah, my juice. In Germany, this is one good thing. Apple juice with mineral water. Apfelsaftschorle. Sehr gut. So yeah, nothing to do, nothing to say. I'm loving it. It's all fantastic. It's all happening exactly as it should be. And life is good. And everybody is finding out exactly what they need. It's just that people should realize that disease is optional. Dis-ease. It is unease that creates a playing character, unease. But if you ignore this uneasiness, it becomes dis-ease, because you're not hearing it. You're not hearing the need for change, the need for moving on, the need for expansion. And life's purpose is expansion. Expansion mostly of consciousness. There is only consciousness, well, mostly of consciousness. And so therefore, you will be moved outside of your comfort zone. And like Howdy says, the more people awake, the less people will be in the system and in the game, and the game will starve. As soon as every single non-playing character is a playing character and is even thinking how to change the game, it's game over. And it's so funny, another thing that I found out of all the groups, the religious groups, the vegan groups, the vegetarian groups, the health nuts, the all these groupings of people that we see around in our society, everyone fell for the psyop, with the exception of flat earthers. No flat earther knows any flat earther that fell for the psyop and took the jab. Not one. This has been just rising to the surface now. Literally, there are channels and channels that literally are doing polls and everything, and they're finding out that no flat earther fell for it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Of course, a lot of non-flat earthers as well, but as a group, because how can you, the moment you realize the biggest psyop, which is the place you live upon. That is a huge lie. What you're taught, what you're told, what you're indoctrinated. Once you click with that most massive of massive psyops, most all-encompassing, because the majority of people cannot accept that for the immensity of the lie. They see, I know that, I was that. It cannot be a lie, because how could so many people be in it? You know how many pilots, even though their books say, train as if and act as if you're in a plain stationary thing, and they still believe that some magic in the airplane, it's curving with the curvature of the plane. Like, even pilots, they're not all aware of the lie. That's the depth of the indoctrination. And belief is the enemy of knowing. But what I'm saying is, once you accept the magnitude of this lie and you understand it is a lie, it's very unlikely that you're going to fall for many other psyops. It's very unlikely. So as a group, the flat earthers are at the top of pure blood. Amazing shit.